Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd. Once again, we have a lot of photos from Fayetteville, Arkansas, so let's see what we got this week. It's the 31st of October, 2011, and there's still wildflowers in bloom in South Fayetteville this week, and that's the goldenrod at World Peace Wetland Prairie, and there's a nice late blooming aster, and you'll see a few more of those as you have the last 3 or 4 weeks on short takes when we try to take some photos of insects that are pollinators out. This is a tiny orchid, and it's in the Spiranthes group of native wild orchids of the United States, and these are on the Pinnacle Wet Prairie, just immediately west of World Peace Wetland Prairie, and they are delightful tiny flowers. I've never gotten a really great close-up of these guys, but I'll keep trying. And in fact, online you don't see many people make great ones. I'm afraid they're awfully small, maybe 8 or 10 inches tall, and the flowers themselves are smaller than your fingernail. Hey, some of you recognize these people. That's one of the government channel videographers, and his daughter came down to visit him after work, and so I caught them in action. That's Tyrone. You've seen him at government meetings running the cameras. Okay, there's some guys down in the town branch of the West Fork of the White River. Yes, town branch of the West Fork of the White River near 11th Street, and that lady's just upstream a little further, just before you get to the Hill Place apartments. And they were doing a volunteer cleanup, nothing but university students there. And most of them are engineers. Some of them are members, maybe most of them are members of the National Society of Black Engineers. It's existed for a long time at the University of Arkansas, and it's now nationwide. And there's another young lady with some plastic rubber gloves or whatever, and they've been picking up a lot of trash. You see the bags lying around, and they're trying not to slip and fall. Very few of them had on rubber boots. Most of them had on their athletic shoes, so they got them good and wet. But they actually had a good time, apparently, and I know I did down there trying to get in position to get a decent photo. There's a guy on the embankment, and there's Larry Driver in the background. He's up on the shoreline. That's just south of 11th Street on town branch of the West Fork of the White River, and there's just a lot of stuff catches in those bins. And there's some of the people with at least one of their bags. The rest of them are already across the street waiting for somebody with a pickup to come around and collect it and take it to university dumpsters. And there is a young man who was a group leader on this thing, and he's one of the biggest guys there. That's why you can see I'm looking up to take his picture. But anyway, these guys were doing great service for our neighborhood, but more than that, for Beaver Lake watershed. Keep trash and debris from going all the way to Beaver Lake, and they are appreciated for what they did. Those are some pumpkins from the Fayetteville Square last weekend. Of course, this is Halloween when I'm recording this. It won't be when you see it, but that was appropriate for the night we recorded it. There's a bee fly, or a flower fly. There's a tiny insect. Now, you might have thought it was just a crushed berry or something on there, and I kept getting closer and closer, and that's the best I could do. So until next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, as those young students were doing, and the air pure, and the woods green. See ya. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and we have still more pictures from October 31st and before in South Fayetteville, Arkansas. Okay, that's a milkweed pod. That brown one hanging there was already, the seeds had matured, and it was ready to pluck or soon to open and display them. Looks like a monarch butterfly caterpillar was actually eating the pod on that milk vine. That's the Sedantian Levy milk vine. And there are 4 species of milkweed vines in Arkansas, in addition to all the many species that are forbs. That's also a pod that was close to ready to pluck and spread its seed. They spread open. You can see some more of them there. These are actually from a couple of different sites. Some of those are on near Martin Luther King and the where the town branch crosses, and some of them are up, we'll see, are actually near the spout, or the Tanglewood branch, just before it crosses under the South School Avenue. Anyway, that's where the water goes under South School right there, and that's water that comes from all of downtown, all the way from Washington School and part of the university campus up on Maple Street and Dixon Street and so forth, comes through and has to go under that culvert to get over to Walker Park to join with that was Tanglewood Branch. It'll join Spout Spring Branch when it gets over there. Okay, those pictures show some various insects on tiny late blooming asters. That one is a paper wasp. That is a form of sulfur butterfly. I think that's a clouded sulfur. You can see a little green, a little yellowish, but you also see the dark background. And in certain angles you view it, it looks like it's just cloudy. That's a buckeye butterfly, one of the most common all year long. That's a gray hair-streak butterfly seen from above, and they're very small, very beautiful. And you see those are tiny asters that are about the size of one of your fingernails, and those butterflies are some of them are not much bigger than that themselves, bigger than your thumbnail or less. That's a question mark butterfly. Sometime I'll tell you how to tell the difference between a question mark and a comma butterfly, but not today. That's a pair of butterflies of the same species, and the female was trying to nectar, and the male was trying to maintain their friendship. That's a snout, American snout butterfly. Can you see this little nose sticking out there? That one may be a type of hair streak, but you see how ragged its edges are? It's not long to live, but if it's laid its eggs and reproduced potential caterpillars for its species next year, then it's done its work for this year. Till next time, hope you had a good Halloween. I did. And please keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. And help us protect the streams from changes.